Stand for the pledge, please. We'll let the clerk turn the camera on. It's awful good to have Ricky back with us this evening.
Yay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'd like to call this meeting of the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board to order for February 4, 2013. We could have a roll call, please.
Bernie Bassett.
Here.
Martin Mannix.
Here.
Paul Lemoyne.
Here.
Gerard Renadette.
Here.
James Coffey.
Here.
Rick Collins.
First of all, I want to do, it just seems to be tradition, but we're going to have a little adjustment this evening. Resolution 58, approving the minutes of the previous meeting.
Resolved that the minutes of January 14th and January 28th, 2013 be approved and the reading of the minutes be dispensed
Have a
with.
motion.
So moved.
Mr. Mannix, second. Mr.
Second.
Renadette, are there any questions? Discussion? Roll call.
Martin Mannix.
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne.
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, resolution carries. With that out of the way and being formally in our session here, I would like to move everyone to resolution 65 because we have something special to do tonight and we have some special people with us tonight. And there may be others who would like to make some special comments, and we're going to give an opportunity to do that. And I'm going to let our clerk find that resolution in his packet, which is Resolution 65, Proclamation of Recognition.
Whereas the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board periodically recognizes individuals who have demonstrated leadership and commitment to our community. And whereas on August 27, 1979, Grace DeBuck began her employment with Joint Council for Economic Opportunity as a community outreach worker and was assigned to provide services for residents in the town of Plattsburgh. Whereas over the years she has demonstrated a high level of service and commitment when working with co-workers and others to provide the service to our residents of the town of Plattsburgh by linking them to individuals and agencies including commodity distribution that is remembered most as the Cheese Day, the Christmas Bureau, Holiday Food Basket, the Food Pantry, Food Cooperative, EAT, Medical Transport, and Summer Lunch Program for the children, and the resources for emergency fuel and clothing. And whereas Grace's knowledge and availability, community resources combined with her personal effort to provide support for many families who have benefited by her unwavering dedication and commitment to make a difference. Therefore, be resolved that the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board, on behalf of all the residents of the Town of Plattsburgh, wish to express Ms. DeBuck's appreciation for all of her years of service to the residents of the Town of Plattsburgh. And to be further resolved that henceforth Grace should spend her time and energy enjoying bingo, doing crafts, traveling, and sharing times with friends at the Senior Citizen Center. And with her five children and 17 grandchildren and 36 great-grandchildren.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Lemoyne, second. Mr. Mannix. And before I even go to a roll call, Grace, we'd like to have you come forward for a moment, please. There's going to be a little redundancy with this, but you are worthy of the redundancy. And you and I personally haven't had a lot of time. We've each done our job, but I know you've done yours. And this board, and Mr. Mannix has spent a lot of years, helping guide our residents to the program and what you've done. So we do have a proclamation, and this will be on cable, so tell all your friends. And it's a proclamation of recognition. Reading, whereas the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board periodically recognizes individuals who have demonstrated leadership and commitment to our community, as you have. And whereas on August 27, Gracie Jabot began her employment with the Joint Council for Economic Opportunity, JCEO, as a community outreach worker and was assigned to provide services to residents of the Town of Plattsburgh. And whereas over the years she has demonstrated a high level of service and commitment when working with coworkers and others to provide services to residents of the Town of Plattsburgh by linking them to individual agencies, including the Commodities Distribution Program that is remembered by most, as we heard before, Cheese Day, the Christmas Bureau, holiday food baskets, the food pantry, food cooperative, HEAP, medical transportation, summer lunch program for children, and resources for emergency food, fuel, and clothing. And I suspect maybe a few others that we missed in this. And whereas, in recognition of Gracie's knowledge of community resources, combined with her personal effort to provide support for many families who benefited by her unwavering dedication and commitment to make a difference. Therefore be it resolved that the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board, on behalf of all the residents of the Town of Plattsburgh, wishes to express to you, Grace, our appreciation for your years of service to residents of the Town of Plattsburgh. And be it further, and this is worthy of repeating because I think this is a pretty good accomplishment, that henceforth you should spend your time and energies enjoying bingo, crafts, traveling, time with your friends at the senior center, your 5 children, 17 grandchildren, and 36 great-grandchildren. On behalf of all of us, congratulations. Anything you wanted to add this evening?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that Grace has been a very valuable part of the services that we provide to the town of Plattsburgh. She's been with us. Okay. All right. As I was saying, Grace has been a very valuable part of our organization for a very long time. I can remember I started with JCO back in '96, and one of the very first people that I met was Grace. And I got to go up to her outreach center and see what she does. And the people in the town of Plattsburgh have been very well served by Grace. And last week we had our first full staff meeting since Grace has been gone, and I can tell you it just wasn't the same. We missed her. We miss her every day, and we really do hope that she enjoys retirement and has a really good time. So, thank you.
Anyone else who would like to make comment? Okay, so. And we do have a camera running, and it will be on cable, and we know all of Grace's friends would love to see it. Come up. Gotta come
Well,
on.
what we do it for Grace. Just for Grace. Grace, I've known Grace for many, many years, and she's an awesome lady, and she's also my second cousin. But she's been so good to everyone, and she's always, you know, I drive by at 5:30, and her lights would still be on there, and I know she's still working. The next day I say, Grace, do you still work? And she's like, no. I go, oh, yes, you work. But she stayed, and she gave above and beyond, and if someone was working and she had to stay a little later, she'd stay. She'd never tell us or complain. Just gave all of her heart to everyone. So we had some pictures that we had done for you when we had a staff meeting at my house. So we took some of these pictures. So I couldn't think of what to give her, so I said I'll give her pictures and she can remember us. And we have pictures to remember you too. So we loved you. We still miss you too, and people still miss you. So thank you for everything you did for us, for everyone, for all the people.
Anyone else?
I'd like to say a couple words just to echo the importance that this town takes time tonight to recognize you, Grace, for all that you've done. I came on the town board just a year before, or a couple years before Grace went to work for JCEO. We knew each other before that from involvement with the Youth Commission. And when we got involved in the Youth Commission together, it was quite a task. We were talking about it the other day. We used to literally have police escorts to make sure that we could get the kids to and from the games without interference and whatever. But we got everything settled down and got a good program put in place. And then it was Grace that really took the job with JCEO and did such a fantastic job on behalf of the people in the town of Plattsburgh. In particular for people who needed service, who needed connection with what services were out there. It was at a time before having as much education about services was as prevalent as it is today. So for many people, they didn't know what services really were available to them. And the other factor was, in many cases, they were very shy, reticent to approach agencies for service. And Grace was a person who ran interference and got people to go meet the people they needed to meet and get connected with the services that were there to be provided for them and to help their families. I just, one story to give you an example was one night we had a youth commission meeting, and after the youth commission meeting, I gave Grace and a couple of the other ladies rides home, and Grace asked me to turn down a certain street, drive over to a residence, and as I drove over to the residence, on a night when it was about 20 below, there was a residence and literally had a couple blankets hanging over a doorway, no door. And I think she knew that by doing that, I'd do something, and we got a door put up the next day. But that to me was an example of, you know, the epitome of Grace. She worked all day, went to the meeting. It's 9:30 or so at night, and got time to, you know, take the time to bring somebody and show them a problem and hope that you know, they can help get that problem resolved. But that's the way Grace has gone about providing services for the people in the town of Plattsburgh, and you've done a magnificent job. You really have, and you will be remembered. You'll be remembered by the people that you served because they know how much you cared about. Thank you, Grace.
Great story, Marty. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? Any other discussion? If not, I'm going to move for a roll call on the resolution.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne,
Yes.
George Renner,
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, resolution carries. It's official, Grace. We don't have a long agenda, but we know it's everybody's time is extremely valuable, and you maybe all want to take Grace out tonight or something. So please feel comfortable. If you would like to leave, we won't be insulted. As I work my way back to the top, and we should be on resolution 59, abstract 2A.
Resolved that the abstract about...
Thank you all for coming too, by the way. Thank you very much.
Resolved that the abstract about the claims number 2A-13, 553 prepays for the amount of $5,717.56, and abstract 2A-13, numbers 3022 to 3031, in the amount of $17,899.16, and abstract 2A 136 to 154 prepays in the amount of $1,319,191.51, and number 2A13 37 to 169 in the amount of $2,699,799.51, $163.52 be received as reviewed by the audit committee, and the supervisors hereby authorized to pay said abstract.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renadette, second.
Second.
Mr. Lemoy, any discussion? Roll call.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne,
Yes.
Joe Renadette.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, the resolution carries. Resolution 60, Building Maintenance and Safety Committee Monthly Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from Art Bro, Building and Maintenance Supervisor for the month of January 2013.
I have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Mannix, second.
Second.
Mr. Renadette, any discussion? Roll call.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne,
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 61, Highway Superintendent's Monthly Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from James Wood, Highway Superintendent for the month of January 2013.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Lemoy, second.
Second.
Mr. Mannix, any discussion? Roll call.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne,
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 62, New York State Retirement System, Amendment of Standard Workday Hours.
Whereas Resolution 09-270 was passed on August 17, 2009 to establish the standard workday hours for elected and appointed officials, as well as all civil service members who are in the New York State Retirement System. And whereas Resolution 09-270 was passed, the standard workday was not established for the position of deputy tax receiver and deputy town clerk, as these individuals were not members of the retirement system. And whereas New York State Retirement System requires that all towns establish a standard workday for elected and appointed officials, as well as civil service. Now therefore be resolved that the town board, town of Plattsburgh, does hereby set the standard following workday for elected and appointed officials, as well as all civil service employees, as follows, as noted. And resolved that this resolution shall become effective immediately, and that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager.
A motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renadette, second.
Second.
Mr. Lemoy, any discussion?
And I guess I'll ask the question, go both to you and the finance manager. Is the finance manager is an appointed position, correct?
No.
Well, no, it's not.
It's not,
No.
okay.
But I have an agreement which states what my work hours are, which
Okay.
establishes standard workday, just as similar as the Teamsters have the union, which establishes their standard workday.
I didn't want to have to amend this one more time later on because we forgot to include you.
No, we already took care of that.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions? Roll call.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne,
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 63, Municipal Property and Liability Insurance Renewal.
Where it is necessary for the town of Plattsburgh to provide risk management services and municipal property and liability insurance. Therefore, be resolved that the supervisor is authorized to renew its agreement with the Cool Insurance Agency Incorporated, principally located at P.O. Box 2153, Glens Falls, New York 12801, to provide risk management services and as insurance broker for the town to provide municipal insurance coverage. And it be further resolved that after careful review of the town's needs and market options, as recommended in a letter dated January 18, 2012, from Peter Prescott, Vice President of Coal Insurance Agency, recommended property and liability insurance for the period January 20th, 2013 to January 20th, 2014 shall be provided by NYMAR Reciprocal for a premium of $118,564 with the endorsements as warranted during said period. And it be further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign all related documentation with NYMAR and Cool Insurance Incorporated, and a copy of this resolution is given to the budget officer, finance manager, and Cool Insurance.
Have a
So
motion.
moved.
Mr. Renadette, second.
Second?
Mr. Mannix. Any discussion? Roll call.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne,
Yes.
Gerard Renadette,
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 64, Town of Plattsburgh Public Participation in Board Meetings Policy.
Where to remain current and compliant with the changes, needs, and/or legislation, it is often necessary to make amendments and revisions to existing policies and to incorporate the revisions therein. And whereas the public has the right to attend the town board meetings, to listen to deliberations, and observe your elected officials in action. And whereas the town board has the right and obligations to promulgate the rules or procedures of an orderly conduct of its meetings and to properly administration of the business affairs of the town. And whereas the town has caused to be prepared the attached public participation in the town meeting policy for 2013, and the town board has reviewed and approved the same. Now therefore be resolved that this said policy be incorporated in the town's respective policy handbook, and it be further approved and shall be strictly adhered to by the town and enforced as stated herein. And it is further resolved that said policy shall take effect upon adoption of this resolution, and copies of said policy shall be distributed accordingly. And it be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the bookkeeper.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renadette, second.
Second.
Mr. Lemoyne, any discussion?
I know it says distributed accordingly. Do we need to mention that it'll be posted on the website?
I'll make note of that and under discussion, and we'll see if that gets done. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne,
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 65, we achieved. And that brings us to the end of this evening. Anyone have any other concluding comments? If not, I will ask for a motion to adjourn. Mr. Lemoyne, second.
Second.
Mr. Renadette, any discussion? Roll call.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne,
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, we will stand adjourned at 7:23. Carefully and stay.